Hey, what's going on, you guys? Prairie Pirates, we're back with another stream here, and today we are featuring a match between OnDemand and Astic0. OnDemand here, we're going to take a look at his list first. It is a Ray Green, the first Ray Green we've seen featured on this channel. And I want to just point out some of the basic things that, of course, you see in most Ray decks. That would be things like the R2D2s and the regional governors. Very cheap cards that have low power that can utilize Ray's ability very well. And the green version here features a lot of more high cost cards that can be played using U-Wing reinforcement and can take advantage of some ramp cards and cards like Timely Intervention. So, some very interesting choices here. One of the things I like is the Kylo Ren. Kylo, of course, is one of the very few cards that can be played out of aspect in the Ray list as a red black villainy card. 6/7, very good card in general, and has the ability to give out a lot of experience in this list in general. We also see cards like Rose Tico. Rose Tico has not been featured in many of the Ray lists that we've looked at, but I think it's a very strong card in this format, especially in the Ray builds. So very excited to see how that works out in this one. And now let's take a look at Astic's list. He's playing a Cassian yellow, very similar to some of the Sabine yellows we've seen featured recently. But this one is definitely a little bit more focused on pushing damage through the space arena. So we can see that every single unit, besides K2SO, is a space unit. So just going for that crazy space aggression, hopefully getting some big hits in. OnDemand has a few Sentinels using like Bright Hope in the space arena to do that, as well as Redemption and the interceptors from the Mandalorians. So we'll probably see him bring in a few more of those into this matchup through his sideboard. But I expect both of these lists to kind of mirror each other. We also see Bamboozle featured here in Astic's list, and that will help remove the experience tokens from Ray's units. So yeah, very very solid play overall. But yeah, the players are ready. So let's go ahead and start this match. So yeah, this first match is going to be incredibly difficult for OnDemand, in my opinion. With the amount of aggression that Astic will bring in the space arena, he'll have to either heal a lot or be able to remove a lot of the space units to rush against him. And starting off with the ECL, of course, means that he has 5 fewer HP, which just makes it a little bit more difficult to push that damage through. Um, Notably, yeah, he is playing the green version, so he doesn't have the discard. So running into Cassian here is not that big of a deal. But we can see from that starting hand, there's some mercenary gunships there, and those are definitely some very strong early game plays in this list. Cruel will go down. He is a very very good card. It's got Restore 1, and on attack, if the color of the card is the same as your base, so in this case green, he gets to draw that card, which is very nice. But it could discard a few cards since there are blue cards as well featured in the Ray list. But definitely a lot more green than blue. Right, and on to the second round here. So yeah, that's a free Sundari Peacekeeper for OnDemand. Yeah, it's a very, very strong early game play here. And we'll see Heroic Resolve, one of the very few upgrades that can go onto space units. That is a 4/3 right now. And yeah, he's going to attack for 4. That card can be stolen by OnDemand for 4 resources. I don't think we'll see that. It's kind of unlikely since the Cassian player would be able to just take that back. So yeah, OnDemand has the potential to heal 3 this round with the units on the ground alone. He should heal 2 there. I'm just gonna point that out to the players. Unless he already did it. Oh wait, no, he did already do it. I'm just a little slow. Right, and Cassian doing a draw here. Draw a red 3, which will enable him to take that mercenary or 4. And that's a very strong play for Ray here. He can basically force the A-Wing to trade it, or he can force the Cassian player to, um, maybe sacrifice something else into it, or pay 4 resources next round to take it back, which is a pretty expensive cost, all things considered. That's the one downside in that card, and it really hurts here. You can tell he's choosing between taking the initiative versus, potentially playing out here a little bit more. He can get 3 more damage in with that A-Wing and drop another unit in the space arena, but it's yeah, anything that he puts down there is guaranteed to die. So it looks like he's probably just going to take the initiative here. Oh no. Still thinking. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for the initiative. A very, very good play there from OnDemand to take that just at the right time and force essentially 3 damage to not go through and 3 resources to not be spent. So that's some incredible value that he was able to bring out there. Now, yeah, he's going to take it back, but I think we're just going to see it captured right back. Oh my goodness. The fight for that gunship is insane. It's a mini game inside of the actual game. And heroic sacrifice with the A-Wing will go into the base there for 5. Interesting choice that he didn't go for the kill on his unit. Um, I think he just needed a little bit of a reset there, and that's the one card that really hurts him super badly. So, um, yeah, definitely an interesting choice there. And then we see the Sundari hit the base, and now Ray already has an advantage in terms of the damage amount. Astic will take the initiative, and we're going to see that gunship go for 4 into the base. So things quickly spiraling out of control here with a well-timed take on that gunship. And you got to remember that heroic resolve, that upgrade that is on the mercenary gunship, can be activated by OnDemand, which is very important because I believe that gives him a +4. So it would swing for 7 this turn. I'm honestly struggling to find out how Astic here can come back from such a tempo swing. Yeah, if he tries to take that mercenary gunship back, OnDemand can just recapture it. One of the disadvantages of being first. But of course, OnDemand could just attack with that gunship to basically use up its potential. So we might see something like that come here. And he is going to activate that heroic resolve, going for 7 into the base, bringing it up to 24 damage on Cassian's base. And now Astic is definitely in a world of hurt. Cassian is going to go for 4 into the base, and that's a very interesting choice. That frees up OnDemand's ground arena to hit the base, and he will be able to win this round. Ray does come out, as well as Sundari Peacekeeper hitting for 3, meaning that there is really no excuse for for him here. We could still see an outmaneuver as well as that bamboozle. So this will force a play from OnDemand. And I think, honestly, he can take the initiative and comfortably win this one out. He is going to deploy the Ray, though, which will force the outmaneuver. And that's going to be game. Yeah, so very strong plays there. Definitely an interesting matchup. And OnDemand really just pulling the mercenary gunship over to his side, put it in his favor. So let's talk about sideboarding here. For the Ray list, honestly, I think he can keep a lot of the stuff he has. He doesn't have a crazy top end or anything like that. It's not too much of his cards in proportion. He might take out the ramp though. I'm not certain. For maybe more removal cards and more anti-space cards. He's got 3 Sentinels on the sideboard in the Space Arena that could be very profitable to bring in. But we did see him just win out through pure aggression on the ground arena, so maybe he will avoid that. As for Astic, let's take a look at his list. On his sideboard, he has cards like Sparks and the Bravados and the Change of Hearts as well. So that could be quite impactful. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to bring in here. Might just take out those gunships because they are able to be taken by OnDemand and replace them with something like the Sparks or the Change of Hearts. But yeah, it's a very interesting call there. I'm honestly not sure what you can do to prevent your opponent from having too much in the Space Arena. Both of these lists, though, look pretty good. They're very strong in terms of their aggression on the board. Ray has a ton of healing cards, which is great for this anti-aggro matchup where, Astic is definitely full in on the aggro. Ray can definitely play more like a mid-range should be, with the removal, with the late game units, but also some very powerful mid-range cards like the Sundari Peacekeepers, like the Text and the Bright Hopes. So those cards definitely have a lot of board impact for their cost, which I think is what he was going for here. But let's get back to the game. See, in this game two, ooh, excuse me, goodness gracious, if Astic can pull this one back. All right, so the first play here from Astic is going to be that Green Squadron A Wing, and we're going to see a, oh my goodness, I can't pronounce this guy's name. Cool. I don't know. You guys tell me how it's supposed to be said. Uh, look at it here. Cool. I don't know. Cool. Let's say cool for this match at least. But yeah, very strong 2-drop like we said last time, and we do see that he brought in those Conquered Dawn interceptors, very strong space anti-space cards, which I expect him to get a lot of value out of this game. The one difference between, one of the decks we looked at yesterday was that Tarkin yellow, compared to this Cassian yellow. Cassian doesn't buff up with space units, so those Conquer Dawn interceptors are very strong in the space arena versus this deck. And he's going to put down a Cartel Turncoat for his first play. I expect those Conquer Dawns to come out. No reason he would wait on that. And those will not even trade with the A-Wing. It'll be better than that unless we see a shoot first. And we are going to see that. One of the few cards that can take care of that in one fell swoop, but it will save him 3 damage on the base. So not a bad trade-off. And it's not the color of his base. One of the few cards that OnDemand doesn't get to take for free. And actually a very powerful card for him too. And Snapshot Reflexes is just coming down to give a +1/+1 to that A-Wing and OnDemand with the initiative going into this round. We can see Astic is starting to build up that space arena with these cheap units that hit for a lot. So if he can take advantage of that, he can definitely pull out a win here. And red 3 will be his turn play this round. And another Conquer Dawn will come down for OnDemand. That A-Wing can trade with it now. Or, sorry, well, now it's in the A-Wing's favor. The A-Wing will not die. It will live at 1 HP, but it will kill the Conquer Dawn. I think is what he's going to do. That makes a lot of sense. Got to get rid of those Space Sentinels when he can. And we're going to see OnDemand give an experience to Cool. And Cartel Turncoat will hit the base for 3. And OnDemand will take that initiative. Cassian able to draw a card. Very interesting hand for Astic. He's got 2 Sparks of Rebellion and a smuggling compartment. He's got a resource up here, but he doesn't want to get rid of those sparks just yet. And yeah, we're going to see a spark come out here. And OnDemand will draw a resupply. I've got to think he just gets rid of that Bright Hope right now. And seeing the redemption as well as the U-Wing means that he has a very powerful spark either this turn or next turn. OnDemand is certainly not loving that. But if he can just out heal this damage, I don't think he'll be too mad. On this 5 resource turn, we could see him resupply to go up to 6 to get that Ray out there. We could also see something like a Rose Tico as well. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to see, the resupply. He's going for the Ray play. And 4 damage to the base with that A-Wing is insane. Or sorry, 5 damage, yeah, with the red 3. Astic will go for the draw. And Ray will attack the base for 3, healing 3. And smuggling compartment on red 3 is absolutely disgusting. 4 HP is massive. OnDemand taking the initiative and taking some damage there from red 3 and the cartel turncoat. And we'll see another spark come out here. It's definitely a tough call. Do you get rid of the U-Wing? I think so, just because it is coming next turn, and you don't want him to grab space units. I think that just makes the most sense. And then when Redemption comes out, it's probably going to heal 8, so it'll only eat maybe 1 attack. But Astic definitely in a powerful position here. He can even tap down OnDemand's ground arena, which is going to save him a lot of damage this turn. It's going to save him 4 in the current state. And OnDemand is not finding the answers he's looking for. At this point, the race is very heavily favored in Astic's favor. Not sure. He's resourcing the regional governor. Okay. Cool. We'll hit the base for 3, healing 1. And let's see if he can't draw something worthwhile. A U-Wing. Nope. It's going to be a modded cohort, which is not super strong in this matchup. Almost nothing to ambush into. 5 to the base with that A-Wing. And can we see a win here? Let's see. So that's 4 damage from red 3, 3 from the cartel turncoat. That would be 7. Yeah, we could have definitely seen a win here if we had gone for the outmaneuver to stop Ray from healing 3 this round. Potentially could still see a win here. Snapshot Reflexes is a disgusting card. And that red 3 is hitting the base for 4 right now. Or sorry, 5. Cassian Andor will hit for 4. So if there was an outmaneuver played, that would be game right now. But it's still very heavily favored in Astic's favor. Not sure if he can find a way to come back, but OnDemand is certainly looking for anything he can do. But I believe it is forced to claim the initiative. If he does not, then the Cassian doesn't even matter. Green Squadron will just win the game. And I believe we're just going to see that. Astic is going to just claim the initiative. And that is GG, folks. Astic takes this one down, and we're on to a very exciting game 3. Yep, and then red 3 attacks for the win. And that 5 HP difference from ECL to the chopper base is showing itself very much there. That is the problem. If you can't find a use for that ECL, I'm pretty sure he should have ECL'd a couple times with those Conquer Dawn interceptors just for damage. That would have probably helped him out a little bit. But in this case, there wasn't really any choices since the Sparks were able to get rid of the Bright Hopes and the U-Wing reinforcements. So OnDemand definitely should have taken the initiative there in that last round, which would have allowed him to play Redemption and potentially live through that. It was definitely a lot coming at him, and I know he wanted to put down that Rose Tico, but doing the very simple calculation that, hey, both the A-Wing and the Red 3 will hit the base for 5 in one single attack. That's a very important number to keep in mind. So if your opponent can just defeat you in one go, you've got to take the initiative, which all just comes down to timing and knowledge of the game and stuff. But yeah, it's very important to make sure you're aware of that. Yeah, especially in this format where there is no time limit. You can take as long as you need, within reason here. We're not talking about a 20-day match, but yeah, within reason, take your time. And Astic, I think he likes that shoot first, so he's going to keep it again, and that's very strong. Just being able to guarantee kill one of those Conquer Dawn interceptors early on is a very, very convenient thing to have access to. R2 will definitely help OnDemand sort through the cards to find his anti-space and removal cards. We're going to see that Alliance X-Wing come down for Astic. R2 gets the experience. Now, Bright Hope and Conquer Dawn can be a very nasty combo to run here. We're going to see that Alliance X-Wing hit the base for 2. And R2 will do the same. Yeah, depending on the line of play that we see from Astic, he can go with the Alliance X-Wing and a Cartel Turncoat this turn, or he can go with the Red 3. I'm sure he's leaning towards the Alliance X-Wing plus Turncoat just for more board presence. In that case, though, it would require Red 3 to come down before a shoot first would kill the Conquer Dawn interceptors. But he's going to go with the Red 3. And now this means OnDemand will not have the initiative since he attacked with R2, meaning, that Conquer Dawn is going to get traded into using that shoot first. And this is, again, a very strong position for Astic. He's got a lot of options here, and OnDemand is basically running defense. Bright Hope will come down to block that Red 3. And Astic choosing to keep the Heroic Sacrifice means that he can deal 5 damage, but Heroic Sacrifice plus that Smuggling Compartment could kill Bright Hope here in trade for Red 3. And R2 will get moved back to hand to draw a card. And we're going to see that smuggling compartment come down. All things considered, honestly, OnDemand is probably fine trading his Bright Hope for red 3 and the card advantage that Astic has been able to, utilize. Oh, is he not going to go with Heroic Sacrifice? I guess not. Yeah, OnDemand has initiative right now. Inquish on the red 3. Nope, never mind. Yeah, Bright Hope to kill the red 3 makes sense. And then we'll see R2 come down. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely a thinker, a match. Having to decide between, doing a vanquish here to kill an X-wing, seems very bad. But it might be his best option. He's going to go, I think, with the R2 line into the Sundari Peacekeepers. That can be a very strong play. Oh, OnDemand does have some technical difficulties, so we'll be right back until he has returned. Apologies for that, viewers. Okay, that wasn't long at all. So yeah, we'll see the Sundari Peacekeepers come down. Ray will get an experience on there. And honestly, there's a lot of good plays here. He can go with the Spark. He can also go with the Fang Fighter. Yeah, he's going to go with that Fang Fighter, making a lot of sense, in my opinion. Getting rid of an experience on the Sundari will help him win this race. And OnDemand will pick up a Bright Hope. Astic picking up a second Spark of Rebellion and the outmaneuver. He's going to resource that outmaneuver. Just going for pure aggression here. All right, so disabling Fang will kill himself into the Bright Hope. We're gonna see heroic sacrifice to raid Bright Hope and the X-wing. X-Wing will die. And if Ray could have only got that experience out on the Bright Hope a little bit earlier, that would have been nice to keep him in play. And I don't think Astic's going to like this hand. 2 redemptions, Luke Skywalker, and a Vanquish. We're on 6 resources, meaning Ray's going to come out this turn, and we could potentially see Luke Skywalker come out next turn. He's an absolutely devastating card that can kill pretty much anything that Astic brings along. So yeah, good play to get rid of that Luke Skywalker, in my opinion. Probably the deadliest card there. And the Alliance X-Wing will hit the base for 2. Sendari Peacekeeper plus the Ray heals a total of 5 this turn, which is an absolutely crazy amount. Yeah, it looks like OnDemand's going to hit the Cassian for 4 damage and take 4 himself. And heal his base for 2. Cassian will hit the base for 4 and draw another surprise strike. Ray will kill Cassian, taking 4 damage and giving an experience to herself, and heal 3 from the base. That's just why Ray is so good. 3-7 is not a bad stat line for a leader. But, man, yeah, the amount of damage you can heal from the base alone, it's almost, one of the best choices for a, mid-range control-y leader. I honestly I love Ray for how she plays, and I wasn't big on her when she first came out. Definitely one of the cards that I kind of slept on a little bit in favor for some of the other more exciting leaders, like the Smuggle guys and the Bounty guys. I really like that in general. But Astic here is not drawing a ton of units. So at the end of the day, you do need units to win, and having a lot of events is not great. You will remember that he saw 2 redemptions in hand, so he might just spark here to get rid of one of those. We're going to see a surprise strike. 5 into the base first. And that would be powerful. Not stopping the U-Wing is huge in this case. OnDemand could draw any number of cards, like a Bright Hope, to stop the Space Arena from becoming such a big threat. Yeah, he could probably grab he can grab Conquer Dawn and Bright Hope, I think. I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, not a bad draw at all. He can get a cool, a Conquer Dawn, that's 5, and then an R2 is 6. You could also go for the Sundari Peacekeeper, Conquer Dawn, and an R2 for 7, or really any number of other cards. He knows that the Cassian Andor and the K2SO is the only ground units in the deck, so I can't imagine he would try to go for the Echo-based defenders, although maybe their 4 damage alone could make them a valid target. But I think the Sundari Peacekeeper just makes more sense for the healing potential and for the, raid 3. So they still hit for 3, but Ray can also give them lots of experience over time. And it looks like that's what he's going to go for. He also gets the R2, but he can play the R2, look at the top card, and then cycle the R2 out, which could be nice to draw better cards later in the game. I think you just do it because you can. You just got to get rid of the one he just pulled. Yeah, he will get to cycle here, but it's a good card, so he's going to keep it on top. And Astic is kicking himself so hard right now, wishing he had played the Spark first to get rid of that U-Wing, but he just sparked last turn and didn't see it at all. So, uh, normally great discipline from him, but yeah, just unfortunate that OnDemand drew the exact card that he needed to stay in this fight. Uh, and yeah, now he's got such a board advantage that I'm not sure that Astic can just come back from it like you would expect or desire. And Sundari Peacekeeper's hitting for 4 right now while healing 2. Puts OnDemand in the lead for damage. Yeah, Astic forced to take the initiative. R2 another 1 to base, and we're on to the next round. And now we see the power of these redemptions and home ones. OnDemand has basically every single card that he could want to see. And if the Conquer Dawn dies this round, that Luke Skywalker can definitely kill any unit off the field. So super powerful stuff there. Yeah, Spark coming down first. And looking at all those cards, it's a huge yikes yikes moment, I guess. What one of these powerhouses do you want to get rid of? They're all super good, so yeah, I think home 1 is probably the one you do get rid of. Redemption is also a disgusting card, and honestly, I think OnDemand has this one in the bag. Yeah, we can safely expect, what is that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage coming out, as well as healing 7. So he'll be at 0 damage on the base after this round. Heroic Resolve will allow that A-Wing to hit for 4 damage and kill the Conquered Dawn. But both of those redemptions can be played. And the X-Wing just dies to Luke as soon as he is played. Yeah, tough call. Yeah, Heroic Resolve will allow him to get Overwhelm and plus 4 damage. So that is 4 damage to the base. Is that right? Or 5 damage, right? Yeah, 5 damage to the base. Killing the Conquered Dawns. And I think now we just see a Luke Skywalker deploy. Can safely kill that X-Wing. And take away the board presence. But he's going to hit with Sundari first. And a X-Wing hitting the base for 2. Yeah, followed up by Green Squadron, but OnDemand can put himself into a fantastic position here, dealing 5 damage to the base, healing an additional 2. And Redemption. No, we're going to see Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker will kill that X-Wing or A-Wing. And yeah, that's all she wrote, folks. That's all she wrote. That ground arena is massive. And every single one of those cards, yeah, none of them are units. Astic has a ton of events and upgrades, and we can see here that he had to resource so many early unit cards that he was not able to rebuild that space arena once he lost control of it to those Conquered Dawns. Those Conquered Dawns definitely saved OnDemand here. No question about it. Between that and Bright Hope, having 6 plus the 3 redemptions, so 9 total Space Sentinels is pretty much unheard of for any deck. So yeah, that was very lucky to get matched up so perfectly here. But yeah, no outmaneuvers for Cassian to save this game. Yeah, a pretty rough first match. The second match, definitely more exactly what he wanted. And he got the cards like the shoot first exactly when he needed them. But in this third game, he had a couple of those things, but the OnDemand was able to counteract a lot of it. And of course, missing a huge U-wing turn is gonna kill your whole game plan. So yeah, it was a very well fought game, but yeah, OnDemand coming out on top here with a lot of just straight brutal cards. So yeah, well played to both of these guys, and congrats on the win, OnDemand. We will see you in the top 8. For the rest of you fine folks, if you haven't already, definitely go give me some love on the YouTube, youtube.com/at Prairie Pirates. And that's Prairie with 2 eyes. And yeah, if I don't see you over there, then I will see you back here for more Take the Initiative Top Cut games very soon. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I will see you later. Ciao.